The two ordinary hosts of this podcast are not professionals on parapsychology, extraterrestrials, cryptozoology, nor would they describe themselves as religious or prone to superstition. They'd also like to make it known that this show is not intended for children or those with sensitive sensibilities. Please listen at your own discretion. And remember, the truth is often anecdotal.
Imagine, if you can, a man. His skin is fair, his rosy red cheeks only comparable to his equally red beard. His unique and mostly emerald sense of fashion has him in a gentlemanly square-cut coat, buckled shoes, buckled hat, probably a buckled belt, to be sure. His sprightly nature is jovial and bouncy. Another important feature to mention is that he is quite small, as he sits comfortably atop a toadstool. Now imagine you have to catch that man. He is fast. Unless, of course, he is tending to the repair of his worn-down shoes. If you were to catch him off guard and hold him captive long enough, he would provide you with, quote, supernatural wealth. This being is, of course, the famed Leprechaun, the very subject of this episode. Hello, listeners, I am Mr. R.
And I'm Mr. X.
A pair of normal dudes.
Reading paranormal stories.
Mr. X, how do you feel about the Irish?
I don't know.
Like, as a whole? You don't know?
I don't know if I've met very many Irish people, like actual Irish people, not like northeastern, like working class Americans who
right, yeah,
who love to say that they're Irish, but
and they get kisses for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never been to Chicago either.
I've only been to Chicago one time, and that's because I got lost. I got lost in Chicago in a moving truck.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, moving from Philadelphia to Colorado, we drove through Chicago, and I lost the roommate that was guiding me. Right, I was in a moving truck, and they were driving their actual car, and they were zipping in and out of traffic, and I got lost and had to take an exit, and I wound up in the parking lot of a hotel, and I was with that roommate's dog, who was in the passenger seat. I was like, I don't know where we are, buddy. So that was a stressful time.
Actually, I think I have been in Chicago once, but only in the airport as like a layover. Never been to the Chicago St. Patty's Day celebration or anything like that.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, I hear it's fun.
Yeah. I don't drink alcohol, though, so I'm not sure, like, what they would have for me.
Kisses. I don't know, are you Irish?
All the kisses. So, yeah, we're talking about leprechauns today. Was this your idea?
Yeah, if I've kind of planned this out, this episode will release a couple of days after St. Patty's Day, or maybe I'll just release it on St. Patty's Day, who knows. But it's coming up. It's soon. So
all right.
Yeah,
well, hopefully we can see about that happening. What so, I read about leprechauns for the first time today, and it turns out that in original Irish folklore, they didn't dress in green. They were dressed in red.
Oh.
And they had silver buckles and gold buttons. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never read about leprechauns. I've seen the movie.
Oh man, good luck searching the word leprechaun on any site.
The movie popping up, yeah,
and not having the movie be the main subject of that search.
So weird. Those movies aren't even good.
I've only ever seen glimpse. That's not right. Clips of, I think the first one.
Yeah, that was oh my gosh, what's her name? Jennifer Aniston's first movie, I think.
No way. How'd she do?
Not great, but then I decided to watch a couple of the sequels, more notably Leprechaun in the Hood.
Oh, right, yes.
That one was pretty awful too.
Yeah, I could assume the subject matter was sensitive and culturally appropriate.
You know what? I think They did just fine. I don't remember
I
anything
guess.
super problematic about it.
Would you say it was anything? Would it be better than Thanksgiving, as an example?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, all right. Then I may be tempted to check it out. Well, let's see. The first story we have today is actually a twofer. Let's see. In r/paranormal as of 7 years ago, posted by Existential Dread 14, says, I personally know two people who believe they've seen a leprechaun. Now, this is two separate stories, so X and I are going to be swapping each of these. Do you want to go first? Do you want me to?
Why don't you go first?
Okay. Here we go. Oh, it has the tag, or not tag, what do you call these?
Yeah, it's a tag. Yeah.
Tag, okay. It has the tag
or like
encounter.
a flair, I guess.
Flair, that's probably it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just as the title states, I personally know two people who truly believe they've seen leprechauns. These two stories are unfortunately going to be rather long, but I want you all to get the full details. I'll post a TLDR at the end. Both of these stories take place in western Pennsylvania, because of course they do. The first story takes place in 1991. My ex-boyfriend's dad was the chief of police of a small town located directly outside of a city. He had several police officers who worked for him, and one was a young rookie cop whom we'll call Mike. The police officers in that jurisdiction often assisted the city police with calls. Mike was going on such a call one cold day in the beginning of March. He was driving down a road that on either side was a field of tall, dead brown grass. All of a sudden, Mike saw what he thought was an animal coming out of the grass and on the left side. He said he saw the next sequence of events in slow motion. He tried to slow his cruiser down. He saw that it was not an animal, but instead a small, bald, dirty man dressed in ragged clothes, approximately 2 feet tall, running out from the grass. He slammed on the brakes. The cruiser did not stop fast enough, and he hit the small man with the front of his car. The man flew up into the air. Mike jumped out and ran to the front. He said he looked right down at the small man, who he then noticed had reddish-brown hair. The little man began a screaming evil laugh and hopped up, running into the grass on the right side of the road. Mike ran after him, but all he heard was the sound of his evil, mocking laugh. When Mike got back to the station, he was visibly shaken. My ex's father said he was pale white and could barely choke out the story. When he finished telling them what happened, everyone, except my ex's dad, began howling with laughter. The other cops teased him relentlessly about the leprechaun story. Since it was about 3 weeks before St. Patrick's Day, one of the cops went to the dollar store and bought a leprechaun hat. He left it on Mike's doorstep with a note stuck in the brim saying, "I'm coming for you, Mikey." I don't know, okay. The next morning, Mike came in crying and told my ex's father he was quitting the police. My ex's father believed Mike and said he could tell he was extremely sincere in his belief that he'd seen a leprechaun. He told the other cops to leave him alone about it, and Mike worked with him for years to come. I first heard this story from my ex's father. I could tell he really believed Mike had seen what he'd seen. Later that year, Mike was over at my ex's house. I asked Mike about the story. He grew pale and quiet and told me exactly the same story my ex's father had told me earlier. He insists, and has always insisted, that he hit a leprechaun with his car that day. And that's just the first story.
Yeah. Now, I want to know, what does evil sound like?
Okay, so it is a screaming evil laugh. Now,
do they mean like maniacal? Or...
Right. Because I can't assume this little guy got hit by a car and was like, like, you know, it had to have been like a, like one of those. If I don't know if Discord picked that up at all.
It did, yeah.
Okay.
That's fun. Are there a lot of Irish in Pennsylvania?
A ton.
I guess I never noticed. I noticed all the Puerto Rican people that live there.
So, when I lived in Pittsburgh for a little while, they kind of had their own language, and that was mostly due to the Scots-Irish that moved there, and like didn't culturally adopt some of the sayings. Like instead of y'all or you all, they didn't have a singular plural to plural noun, so they came up with yuns, like the word you with an ns at the end, and that eventually became yins, is yinz. So like yins want to go smoke, like that was just something they came up with. But yeah, lots of Scots-Irish out there.
Wow. Fun fact.
All right, a little fun story for you. But could you imagine hitting a small person with your car? Like 2 feet tall?
2 feet is really small.
Very small for if we're assuming human, right?
Yeah, if I had saw something 2 feet tall run into the road, I would have assumed like a raccoon or something, not a person.
Go ahead.
Admittedly, I think if I hit it, I probably would have just kept going.
Especially if you're like out in the middle of nowhere, right?
Yeah.
You've got tall grass on either side. It can't be anything good. Let's say hypothetically, if it was a person that was 2 feet tall and it could run fast enough out into the road that you couldn't stop the car and you hit it. Nah, you didn't. Nah, let's just keep on going. Let's report to whatever we're going to.
Yeah. I imagine they would have seen something shiny in that case, like running into the road, and maybe that would have caught their attention. But I don't know. I don't think I would have paid attention to something that small. But I don't know. He was a cop. Maybe he's trained to be more attentive.
I did Google the world's smallest living person.
Okay.
And they are 2 feet and 1.68 inches tall.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's not impossible to be approximately 2 feet tall. I'm not going to assume this person can sprint or survive getting hit by a car.
Yeah, I don't think, unless they're supernatural, I don't think something that small getting hit by a car is going to survive.
I would, however, love to hear this person's laugh, especially their evil laugh.
Yeah.
But yeah, you go ahead. Let's move on to the second story here.
Okay. The second story takes place in 1998. My childhood best friend Susan, that's in quotations, so I'm guessing their real name isn't Susan, grew up in one of the most haunted houses I've ever been in my life, which is a story for another day. She lived in an old farmhouse way out in the country that had been in her family for generations. It's important to understand how her upstairs was set up. You'd go up the staircase to essentially a dead end, with a hallway on either side of the staircase. To the right was a very large bedroom, which was her parents' room. To the immediate left was her sister's room, then Susan's room, then an open hallway which led to the bathroom and a smaller back bedroom. Susan's bedroom had an open doorway into the hallway that faced the bathroom and small bedroom. I've always had my abilities. Okay, storyteller apparently has abilities. Susan would often tell me of odd things that happened in her house. Also, we would both discuss odd things that would happen to both of us whenever I would go over there. One morning, she came into school and told me in a whisper that she had seen a leprechaun in the hallway of her room the night before. I could tell it scared her. I asked her if she'd ever seen it before, and she said she had. She said she heard rustling noises out in the hallway and gotten out of her bed to peek around the corner. In the corner of the hall, she saw a small man approximately 2 feet tall in dirty clothes with red hair. I have a question, but I'll save it for after the story.
Okay.
She froze with fear, and then she said the man disappeared. She said she'd seen him before out of the corner of her eye moving in the hallway at all hours of the day. I remember her clear as day saying to me that it did not look like the leprechaun on the Lucky Charms box. Being an amateur paranormal investigator, even at 9, I asked her to draw me a picture. I still have the picture somewhere at my parents'. She drew a small man with red hair standing in her hallway. She believed she saw the leprechaun one more time, then she told me she never saw it again. It should be noted, too, that Susan was not asleep or in her bed the times she thought she saw the leprechaun. She would see it out in the hallway or out of the corner of her eye while she was upstairs. I believe, too, she only saw it over a 6-month period. A lot of strange things happened at her house, and I know she believed what she saw and wasn't just making up stories. Now that I'm older and do paranormal investigation myself, I believe that what might... Well, okay, hold on. So that was the end of the story.
Yeah.
So, okay, my question is, are leprechauns described as dirty?
Not that I have read, but mind you, very, very limited information that I know.
Right. Because the first story described him as a dirty little guy, but that would make sense because he just got hit by a car and he was running through brush.
Grass, yeah.
But the second story, why would he be dirty? I guess that adds to the creepiness of it, though.
Well, sure. If actually, Jason Voorhees came out in a 3-piece suit, it does diminish the scariness of it.
Okay, I think it's funny that I brought up that question because I think this next paragraph actually answers my question. So I'm going to go ahead and just read this.
Yeah.
The 2 stories are closed out with, now that I'm older and do paranormal investigation myself, I believe what Mike and Susan both saw are what are called Tommy knockers. I really hope that's not a slur. Tommy knockers are leprechaun-like creatures believed by immigrant coal miners to live in the mines and move tools and such things. That would explain why they're dirty. Right. This being Western Pennsylvania, each location where the leprechaun was seen was above or near a coal mine. They are often described as dirty, scraggly, sharp-featured looking little men with reddish hair. I cannot express how sincere both of them were to me when telling me their stories. I've also never heard of a Tommy knocker, but that might just be...
The only reason I know of a Tommy knocker is that there are some businesses called Tommy knockers, and I think Stephen King has a book called Tommy knockers.
These look more like little dwarves than...
I mean, if I saw these things running around, yeah, I'm concerned.
And they're also referred to as gremlins, which is funny because that was going to be my first suggestion for this episode, was gremlins. But I had a feeling it was going to be almost impossible to find anything that wasn't the fucking movie.
Yeah.
But, okay, it's an interesting theory. Would make sense for the area, I suppose. I do like how they added a too long, didn't read, and I don't think they actually abbreviate either story. It goes like this. Too long, didn't read. I personally know 2 people who claim they've seen a leprechaun and are very sincere in their beliefs of having seen a leprechaun. Also, the stories are very believable. I personally believe they've seen Tommy knockers, which is a sort of the USA version of a leprechaun. Yeah, that doesn't really abbreviate the whole post.
They certainly made the story shorter.
Yeah.
I know people, they think they saw leprechaun.
And that's another thing, right? Because we covered... Wait, did that episode come out? No, it didn't. The Alabama episode. We have a lost episode that the audio was unusable. But the Crenshaw, right? Crenshaw leprechaun.
Yes.
You've probably seen the viral video. If you think you saw the leprechaun, say, hey,
Yeah.
They're Irish, right? They're Irish folklore. Why would they be in the Americas?
I mean, we've discussed cryptids migrating.
True. But this would be more than migrating. This would be like full-on immigrating.
Are these the illegal immigrants I keep hearing about?
Possibly. Except they're white, so...
Yeah, that's true.
But they are probably Irish.
And we all know how they... how the United States... I don't know where I'm going with this.
We've all seen Martin Scorsese movies.
There you go.
All right.
Do we want to read through these comments, or do you want to move on?
Yeah. Here, I just want to read this first comment here because I kind of had the same question. Baldak asked, why was it important to tell us how Susan's house was laid out? Was the thing menacing? Did it see her? Okay. There's a response. The OP says here, sorry, I just realized I left a part out typing on mobile. So she had no door to her room facing the hallway/bathroom area. It was an open doorway. Also, the hallway was sort of blocked off, like only accessible by her parents' room. What I meant by that was you would see something or someone leave the hallway area as well as hear it. She was extremely creeped out by it and did find it to be menacing. I mean, the first one had an evil laugh, so...
Yeah.
As mentioned in another post on here today, most of those creatures are amoral according to folklore. A lot of strange things happen in that house. So I guess this comment was from before they edited their little story. So I guess we got the whole picture of it. But yeah, I mean, it kind of just sounds like every farmhouse from every horror movie you've ever seen.
Yeah, I guess so. Let's see. My husband was in the military. This is a comment from Solly McFatneck.
Okay.
My husband was in the military, and when we lived in Oklahoma, so rife with paranormal activity and spirits, my children claimed that an itty-bitty man lived in our house and that he would hide things sometimes. My daughter insisted on making him, quote, a fairy house, in case he wanted to sleep there instead of the walls. They used to call him Thaddeus. Thaddeus.
Wow. Someone responded to that. Why am I here again? Said, well, did you make him a fairy house? And they sure did. Little house with a bed and all the niceties one would need for a home away from home.
Well, that's
so a hotel.
That's lovely. Just as not a rule of thumb, but like, here's a hint. Here's a little clue for life. If you find that your stuff is going missing, build a tiny house.
Yeah, they might end up in that house.
Yeah.
Genius. I live in a tiny house.
How tiny is your house?
It's probably bigger than some of the houses. But it's smaller than a normal house, so shit still goes missing here all the time.
Man, I've told you about Jenna losing stuff, right? And Jenna blames the fairies or whatever.
Has she ever considered leprechauns?
Not once. However, I will say, in reading about leprechauns, leprechauns are considered fairies.
Yeah. I was because I was thinking of subjects that we could cover this week, and I thought gremlins, fae.
Right.
But then I was like, oh yeah, it's St. Patty's Day is coming up.
Easy.
We're gonna miss it, but yeah, leprechauns.
Professor Castwell commented and said the U.S. has its own, quote, little people in native lore. Oh gosh. Memegwans. Memegwans? I don't know how to pronounce it. Memegwaans. I stumbled upon being one. What? What?
That may possibly be what came to be known as a Tommy knocker.
I stumbled upon maybe seeing one. I don't know what that could mean.
I think they became a Mimikwan.
Great. Now we're just out here traversing the internet with Mimigwans.
Oh man, let's see. I think someone else got the same kind of idea from this because they said, "Could you elaborate on your experience?" But I'm not sure if they had an experience. I think they were just researching these things.
Yeah.
Let's see. We'll do one more comment. Okay, let's see. Julie the Human says, "Oh God, I posted a similar experience a while back. The only difference is that the dwarf, or whatever it was I saw, was always the same one, and I would always encounter it in the bathrooms. It sounds weird, I know, but I saw it frequently since I was about 3 or 4 until I turned 9. I am still scared of waking up one day and seeing it again."
Yeah.
I feel like a dwarf would be pretty noticeable, yeah?
Yeah. Yes, I think so. If anyone, how do I want to say this? If you are experiencing someone watching you in the bathroom, you gotta say something.
Maybe it's just bathroom anxiety. I mean, they were of potty training age in that range.
That's true. Didn't think about that. Yeah, maybe this little guy was trying to help you get over your stage fright
by staring at you.
Yeah, it's called exposure therapy.
Oh yeah, that's something.
Mm.
This one had a lot of comments on it, actually.
Yeah, definitely plenty of them.
One person here, since deleted, just said, fake stories are obvious to spot. OP.
I'd love to know. I'd love to know what you mean. I haven't spotted a fake story in years.
Wait, okay, before we move on to the next one, Fight for Your Rights, 1963. Sound like a rad person.
Yeah.
Said, I know one thing. If I saw something like that being described in these posts in my home, I would wake up dead.
Well,
what does that mean?
I don't know if you'd wake up if you were dead.
Is the creature going to kill them, or are they just going to be so scared that they die?
I don't know. It's like turning up missing.
Oh man, this post has a lot of funny little comments. Little McPhee, or Liddy McPhee, said, Jesus fucking Christ, a leprechaun? What the actual fuck? This is beyond blasphemy.
Oh, I didn't know leprechauns were blasphemous.
I don't know. And then Corvus Demon simply said, I too have abilities.
Wow. I wish I could write that ever.
About any kind of
yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's move on to the next story.
Okay.
Go ahead and let you do yours first.
Posted in r/paranormal as of 5 years ago by Snickers Cowboy with the title, Was I Attacked by a Leprechaun? With the flair of encounter. Hi all. Not really sure if this is applied here, but can't think of anywhere else to put it. Maybe somebody can offer a bit of insight into an incident that happened to me a few years back. Bit of a backstory first. My stepfather was originally from Southern Ireland. County Mayo, to be exact. I don't think that's how I'm supposed to pronounce that. He came to the UK in the 70s, met my mother when he was 2, and married her. What? No, sorry, met my mother when I was 2 and married her.
Oh, okay.
They went on to have 3 more children. I never got along with him and was treated pretty unfairly by him growing up. Lots of people, apart from me, also thought he was an asshole for various things and his behavior. My siblings, though, understandably adored him. He died last September and left me out of his final will quite intentionally. A few years back, I was talking to my wife and I was telling her things I assume he had done to me when growing up and how I really felt about him. It's my way of closure, I guess. I wasn't very respectful, and I don't believe respect is given just because you're dead. It's earned whilst alive.
Okay.
One particular night, around 3 a.m., after I'd been quite vocal for most of the evening, I was lying next to my wife, and if it was a dream, then it was the clearest one I've ever had. The previously dark room lightened considerably. Bedroom door flew open, and a male figure leapt about 6 feet from the door on top of me. This figure was quite small and felt almost weightless. He was dressed in really old-fashioned black clothes, like a funeral bearer from Sherlock Holmes' story. What? A twisted, angry face, but most prominent was bright orange curly hair and sideburns. He said some words I couldn't actually hear. I'm also hearing impaired, though. But saw his mouth moving. Okay. Then he lifted a short black twisted stick high into the air, thin on the bottom, heavy on the top. He brought it down, but before it actually hit me, I opened my eyes wider and he vanished. I lay there fully awake for a good while, truly wondering if it actually happened. I wasn't really scared, but very wary, and there was no sign of evidence when I got up to check for signs. My wife had slept through the whole thing. I believe strongly in the paranormal, and this isn't the first time I've encountered similar happenings at other times in my life. I've never done any rituals, as I believe you really need to let some things lie, but did have a very morbid curiosity for playing or visiting graveyards. I assume playing in or visiting graveyards when I was young. Stories for another time, maybe. My stepfather often told stories of Irish sports when I was young, too. Sports? Oh, spirits. Banshee, Kelpies, etc. Any thoughts, anyone?
Why did they need to tell us about the stepdad?
So,
there's like some drama in there.
Yeah, if you
what
read some of the comments, it is highly suggested that the stepfather had something to do with this.
Yeah, but I feel like we didn't need so much detail.
No,
people are always
not.
trying to spill the tea in these paranormal posts.
Really trying to get a sympathy vote here.
Yeah.
Laura's Diary, nope, that says Diary. Laura's Diary posted a comment 5 years ago that says, "Do you think perhaps that your stepfather sent a leprechaun to get a bit of revenge for you talking badly about him after his death? I know it sounds crazy, but I think sounds crazy. Like, I know it sounds crazy, or I sound crazy, should be another one of the points for the drinking game. But it is a coincidence that the angry leprechaun showed up after you were talking about your stepdad. Who knows?" And the OP replied and said, "What I honestly thought originally, part of me still does. Angry little blighter."
Will Blighter doesn't seem like something an American person would say. But
I don't think this is an American.
Well, I thought they said their stepdad immigrated to the States.
It said...
Well, it just says originally from Southern Ireland. So he came to the UK. Okay, so yeah, it's
the UK. Yeah,
it's one of those dirty English.
Trash BB commented and said, "Was he holding a shillelagh? Or shillelagh? I don't actually know how you pronounce that." OP said, "Looked like one, but thinner and well made."
Okay. Do leprechauns not have well-made things? Aren't they supposed to be wearing like fancy clothes and shiny buckles and stuff?
I don't know, man. Apparently all we've heard is that they're dirty and bald.
Why would their weaponry be poorly made?
That's a good question. Johnny Boy 9011 commented, "Where's me Lucky Charms?"
Yeah. I literally just looked at that one.
Let's see. Sounds like your subconscious manifesting unresolved issues with him.
Yeah, this last one here just says might be a lucid dream or sleep paralysis, hallucinations, or might have been a small robber. Okay.
A real small home burglary is what this was.
Could have been a cat.
Could have been a cat holding a stick. You never know.
A cat from the movie Cats. These things are haunting. Okay. Well, I guess we'll move on to my final one.
Do it.
This is from a subreddit I just decided to look up to see if it existed, and it sure did. It's just called the Unexplained subreddit, and this was posted by Windy Shrimp. Okay. 17 days ago. Oh.
Very
timely. Although it's a story from when... it's titled, "When I was 6 or 7, I heard a magic flute." So who knows how long ago this was. This is also flared with experience, and it's very short. It goes as so. "When I was 6 or 7, I was waiting at the bus stop with a few other kids alone. It was the 90s. Anyway, we were waiting there, and cars were passing, but nothing that parked or was waiting nearby. The bus stop was at a corner of an intersection. Back then, we didn't have speakers or CD players or even Walkmans with us because, grade 1 or 2. Long story short, my friend Jordan and I heard a piccolo flute type sound playing. It played for roughly 10 seconds, clear as a bell to us. Nothing and no one other than us and passing cars. It didn't sound like a stereo recording. It sounded like live. If you know, you know."
Okay.
To this day, I believe we heard a leprechaun. Okay.
So I just I want to say it was 2 or 3 nights ago, watched the Timothy Chalamet Willy Wonka movie.
Yeah, okay.
And
You just did
in that
huh?
movie, Hugh Grant plays an Oompa Loompa. The Oompa Loompa is who introduces the flute that Gene Wilder plays in the Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie.
Yeah.
But he plays the same little ditty before he begins his Oompa Loompa song and dance.
Loompa. Yeah.
And that's just what this reminded me of.
This kind of reminds me of when I was growing up in Florida. I didn't take the bus, I don't think. No. But Yeah, we lived in a pretty long cul-de-sac, I guess. It was kind of like a whole neighborhood, but at the end of it was a pretty busy intersection and stuff, with little fields around, and who knows what was hiding in those tree lines, man. Alligators, snakes, homeless people, literally anything. Could have been a
Modern
leprechaun.
dangers, yeah.
Actually, you know what? There was at least one guy. Our friend's house didn't own this patch of like woods behind it, but their property kind of went right up to it, right? And then we could easily just walk into this area, and it went for like maybe a couple of acres or whatever. And one day we were like playing back there, and we came across like a little living structure someone made. Someone clearly going through what do people say nowadays? Unhousedness.
Oh yeah, an unhoused person.
Yeah, which personally I don't really understand how one phrase is better than the other, but
Yeah, no, I've been homeless, and it's because I didn't have a home.
yeah, I've been homeless too, so I don't know. But this person had built like a little structure for them to stay in and whatnot, and that's where we found the first porno mag I've ever
Wow.
seen, at like 7 or 8. So he had a lot of magazines just hidden in the woods.
What a stash.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see some comments here. Tippy Tina 62 says it was the fair folk, the fae. To which OP responds, that was my initial thought. At the time, I didn't understand what fae were, so I just thought leprechaun. LOL.
Sure.
So you posted this story the 90s, 30 years later, and you still said leprechaun, so I'm not sure if that's actually what you thought.
Yeah.
Let's see. No Medium 8796 says, this is a quote, I guess. High spirits, dude. Key of G minor. 432 hertz. See it on the insignia, Rainbow Moonstone, with the exact ripple that 432 makes on water or sand. Okay, this is a quote. Well, what is it from?
I have posted that quote into Google.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's originally from Twitter, but an account named Zachary or Zachary literally made that a post. But this only has 57 views. It can't be from that, right?
Who knows?
Let's see. The phrase indicates a focus on high spirits and musical concepts with the key of G minor and 432 hertz, with the suggestion that the insignia depicts a rainbow moonstone ripple pattern associated with that frequency. What?
Sterling 2008 just said, that's effing hilarious. 2 upvotes.
Good job, Sterling.
Bottlefed 79 Malibu says, deer whistles on one of the passing cars. OP said, oh, it wasn't just one note. It was some kind of song, multiple notes. It's like a little melody. You know what? I guess I forgot to ask. Okay, so the leprechaun from the movie uses a flute, uses like a magical flute.
Okay.
But are leprechauns known to use flutes?
Hold on, let me type into Google. Do leprechauns flute? In Irish folklore, leprechauns are known for their musical skills, particularly their ability to play traditional Irish instruments like the tin whistle, fiddle, Irish harp, though not specifically a flute.
So possible. All right.
Yeah, we're going to keep that one on the table, sure.
Okay. All right, the last comment on here from Finding the... I believe you. One time I was in bed late at night and heard the keyboard in the room next door being played. I think they mean like a keyboard piano.
Sure.
Went in to check and it was unplugged and no one was around. So you're thinking leprechaun or...
Leprechaun's the first thing that comes to mind.
or is it ghosts? Or
See,
also, this is
yeah.
like that's your house where you have an instrument, so you would be expecting like some music playing at some point, right? But this is just out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, shit. Oh. Hey, hold on. I'm getting a call. I think this might be my doctor. Give me a second.
Okay.
Hello?
Kill the president. Kill the president.
Okay. Shit. Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
All right. I think we finished the story.
Yeah.
And all the comments. So, did you have any Ask X for us to close out?
I do have some Ask X. I have posted all three of them in
nice.
general chat.
Sick. All right.
All of these were pulled from the Ask Reddit with the search Leprechaun. Okay?
Okay. Let's see. First one from Doom at the Moon Man was posted 1 month ago. Says, how would being a leprechaun change your daily routine?
So just in the day of the life of Mr. X, if you were just suddenly a leprechaun, how would your daily routine change?
I don't know. I'd imagine I'd have to go out hunting for people to mischieve.
You'd have to get real dirty.
Yeah, I have to go hang out in some mines and...
Yeah, you'd have to get a nice stick.
Yeah, and maybe a flute. I'd have to learn how to play the flute.
Learning how to play the flute, that's going to take up a lot of time.
And just terrorize people, I guess. I don't know.
You have to work on your evil laugh, too.
I like how it says, how would it change your daily routine?
Mm-hmm. It does kind of assume that you're going to continue going to work.
Yeah. So my job would be a lot tougher if I was only 2 feet tall.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I would just be a leprechaun at that point. Do leprechaun things.
Yeah.
What else can I say? All right. The next one here, posted by Irish Girl 14 years ago. Do people actually believe that Ireland have leprechauns and is full of gingers and all of that? Well, if it is, I'd love to go visit.
Look, I think it would be a much bigger tourist spot if leprechauns were real. And if all gingers were sequestered to just Ireland.
Yeah.
Like if you were pregnant and you waited 9 months and you finally had that baby, guess what? Baby got red hair. You got to ship baby to Ireland.
Just the baby.
Right.
Non-redheads can't come.
No, they're not allowed.
What's this last one that you posted here?
It was in the Ask Reddit under leprechauns.
Posted by Sensitive Clock 3143 3 years ago. It just says, "What hole do you prefer?" and it has 145 comments.
It certainly does, doesn't it?
What the hell do they all say?
Which hole do you prefer? It was on the first page. Here we go. I found it. If you want me to send it to you.
I found it too. Okay. Let's see. Which hole do you prefer? First person here, Alpha Male 968 says the 18th. There's always beer and wings afterwards.
Good old golfing joke.
Darthis said donut hole.
Donut holes are good. I also agree with that.
Raw Gabbit's Schnitzel said hobbit holes.
With a name like that, I was kind of worried, but yeah.
Catacomb 82 said just black, but I imagine they mean a black hole.
You have to immediately follow that with hole. You can't just say black.
You learned that the hard way. Yeah.
It's too many questions.
Liner AO370 said the glorious one. Glory hole joke there.
That's so funny. It took me a minute to get that.
Odd neighbor said the one I dig myself into. Okay.
All right. Yeah.
And these are all meant to be like little wholesome answers, right?
Wholesome.
Wholesome. The actual Antichrist said, "What type of holes are we referring to?"
A valid question, but it does kind of limit our imagination here.
Right. And the article Elegant 647
I was just looking at it.
Just said asshole. All right.
And that's going to have to do it for this Leprechaun themed episode. If you have any supernatural stories of your own, you could submit them to us for this show down in the comments or to our subreddit, which is PONDPOD.
We've been a Paranormal Dudes, ever in need of stories to intrigue, perplex, and maybe even frighten. So remember, if you can't explain it, it was probably a magical leprechaun flute. But post about it anyways, and until next time, stay tuned and stay Irish.
That was me, Irish.
There you go. Bye-bye.